Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and hello if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining. So today we are picking out arguably one of, I think, the most important TBRs of the year in the life of a reader, and that's your spooky season, October TBR. It's so exciting. There are a couple of books on my TBR that I have purposefully left for this time of year that I have actually wanted to read all year, and it's finally time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blindly choose my books for my October TBR, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out every single book on my shelf that I have not yet read, that I have always said to myself I'm going to save it for October, but then maybe I never got around to it. So we're talking dark fantasy, dark academia, probably, no, I feel like I'm going to try and stay away from dark romance. Am I? I don't know. I know that's a big statement. Anything that's just vaguely spooky, vampire romances, anything just along those lines. I'm going to get those books out that I haven't read yet and we're going to number them 1, 2, whatever. Get a random number generator and we're going to pick them out. I'm going to face them so I can't see the spine, so I don't know what books are going to get picked at all. I'm going to pick out the books. I'm going to get my mum to stack them, so I don't even know where anything is in the stacks as well. So it's going to be a complete surprise, and we're going to pick my TBR. I think I'm going to go for 10 books because in September I read 10 books, which is the most I've read in a month all year. I used to read, that used to be like not many for me to read in a month for the last couple of years, but this year I've just been so busy. I've only really been reading like 6, 7 books a month, which is fine. It doesn't matter how often you read, but I thought I'd go with 10 because I am really enjoying what I'm reading right now. I am rating books 4 stars, 4.5 stars, 5 stars, nearly every single read. I'm just reading the best books at the moment. So I thought I'll give myself 10. If I don't get round to 10 and I have to skip or anything, or maybe it gives me a buffer if because I'm kind of mood reading a little bit. I just feel like I'm kind of just looking at my bookshelf and picking up what I want to read, and it's working so well for me. So at least I'll have 10 books to choose between. Whether I manage to read them all, who knows? Whether I manage to even stick to the TBR, who knows? But I feel like I definitely will, because a lot of these books I've wanted to read for a really long time, but I've always been like, no, I have to read them in October. So let's pick the books out, we'll get a random number generator and we'll pick out our TBR. This is really exciting. I love filming these types of videos because it's exciting for me too. Stack. I just want to point out as well, there are so many books that I really want to buy that have been released that I want to read in October. House of Hollow, Anathema by Kerry Lake, Phantasma, The Poisoner, but I'm on a book buying ban. And I so desperately want to buy them and I just refuse. I'm like, Poppy, you absolutely cannot. You have got to at least make it to Christmas before you get any new books. Don't hold me to that, because that's like 3 months away, and there's a hell of a lot of books I really want to read around now. So I don't know whether I'll be able to stick to that, but just so you know, like, this isn't my full TBR. It's just that half of it isn't purchased yet, and I'm trying really hard not to. This is the month of saving money and just sitting inside and reading books whilst it rains outside, all cozy with my candles lit. Half scared, but half maybe turned on because I'm reading Spice. No, but in all seriousness, like, there are so many books I do really, really want to get, but I'm just trying really hard not to. So these are just trying to get through my physical TBR, picking the books on here that would be perfect, I think, for this season. I have actually gone and picked a few dark romances, but it's only because, like, I don't know if you can tell now, the lighting's quite dark in here. It is raining and it's so miserable. It's gone really cold in the UK. Like, it was literally 4 degrees last night. It was freezing, and I just thought it's perfect time of year for stalker romance. So there she is, like, oh, I'm not going to read any dark romance, but I don't know why I even bother saying it at this point, but I try my best. I try my best to switch things up, but what can I say? What's a girl to do? The lighting's okay. It is genuinely so dark outside. I might have to invest in some lighting for my YouTubes. Okay, so let me just count how many books we've got. That's, like, honestly looks like it's about to fall over at any moment, and I will cry. Okay, so I'm going to put into a random number generator how many books we've got in the stack, and we're just going to go from there. The only thing is, because I'm not actually going to number them, I was going to try and find something to, like a tab or something to number them, but I can't find any. So The books, obviously if I'm going to take one out, they are going to move down. Also, like, if you can see, please don't judge how messy my bookshelves are right now. I really need to sort them out. So we'll do it on a wheel. I feel like a wheel is so much more fun and it really satisfies my ADHD brain. Okay, the wheel is ready to go. Let's spin. What number is that? I know what book that is purely because it's like a traditionally published one, and I think there's only one traditionally published book in this stack. I think I know what book it is. Books are so heavy, aren't they? It is the book that I thought it was going to be. So that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is Dark Academia. I don't really know too much about this. I actually tried to start this the other day, and I think I tried to start it at like 10 o'clock at night. First of all, this map is Yale University. I know that this is, I'm not going to say you need to be like clever to read it, but you know when you sometimes just want to sit and get immersed in a book and not have to think too hard. This makes me feel like I might have to think a little bit more, so I wasn't in the mood at 10 o'clock at night, but I've been wanting to read this for so long. I've been trying. I think I've put it in so many polls on my Instagram and it keeps not winning and things, so finally it's time because I've picked it out by the number generator. So we're going to read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm so excited because I honestly think the last 3 months it's been in my TBR 3 months in a row, so now's the time. Okay, next. It's nerve-wracking. Oh, it's moving back. 5. So we're on 5 now. So yes. That is Night Wolf by Karina Howe. So this is part of the Dark Eyes duet, or In That Same World. It's Blood Orange. Blood Orange is in the same world. So if anybody's read Blood Orange, which, where is that? It's over there somewhere. Do you know what? I'm not even going to go get it because my room's full of books already. The mess that I make when I'm filming a YouTube video is like no other. But this is in the same world as like Black Sunshine, the Blood Orange duet, which is a Dracula retelling, and these are obviously dark vampire romances, but I think this one is actually werewolves, and it follows a character that I think you've met. If anyone's read Blood Orange or Black Sunshine, because I feel like a lot of people have read Blood Orange, then there's a character in there that I think you meet that this is his book. But oh, look at the cover, it is just amazing and it's just perfect. Werewolves. Are you kidding me? Obviously we're going to read about werewolves in October. So let's spin. I hate it when it moves back a little bit. Oh, we're on number 1. The Book of Azrael. Yes. I've wanted to start this series for ages. I actually recently put this on my full TBR, and then I thought to myself, anything that's fantasy that's a little bit on the darker side, I'm definitely going to stick to that still for October. I mean, I'm going to read fantasy all for the rest of the year anyway, but I added this in. I actually added this in last minute because I really want to read it and I was really hoping it would get picked out, so we've done well there. I don't actually know a lot about it. I feel like I'm going to be going in relatively blind to that book, but on my TikTok, everyone has been saying how good that series is. I've only got the first book. I'm also on a book buying ban, so I shouldn't be buying book 2 and 3, but I feel like maybe I'm allowed to break it if I start it and I really like it. I think that's only fair. 4. Come on, mix it up a bit. This is perfect because Night Wolf was obviously picked out, and I think you need to read this book before, which is Black Sunshine. This is part book 1 in a duet, which I have got the other book somewhere. Do you know what I've just realised I didn't do? I moved some books off. I didn't put these 3 books back on the pile. So we're going to do that now, and we're going to pretend that they were there the whole entire time. Chaos. Anyway, I just looked down and I was like, hang on a minute, I definitely picked that book out for my TBR. It's okay. So, Black Sunshine, this is a dark vampire romance. I think it's heavy on the smart and very spicy vampire-y. I haven't read that many vampire romances, but when I do, I absolutely love them. I just find that they can very quickly become cheesy, so I'm really picky about the vampire romances that I read. If you've got any recommendations for me, please leave them down below, because I always find that I feel like that is the one genre that I feel like I lack in. I can't really say that about, I don't lack in any books whatsoever, but I feel like of all the genres I love, which is like a dark vampire romance, I have the least of those, but I'm really excited to read this. There's a second book called The Blood is Love, so I will definitely go straight into the second one, should I enjoy this one, just for the sake, because it's just a duology, so I may as well read the second one. And the second one's actually a lot, this isn't a big book, but the second one is like half the size of this, so I feel like if I like this, I'll just go straight into book 2, but I'm so excited. I nearly read this in my vlog that I put up last week, and I just didn't get around to it, so we're reading it now. Okay, let's do the next spin. 2. I've wanted to read this for so long. This is Phantom by Greer Rivers, and this is a dark romance retelling based off of the Phantom of the Opera, and this is a trilogy, but I don't think I'm pretty sure they're not connected. She actually very kindly sent me the trilogy. She reached out to me on my BookTok account. I was so excited when she sent these to me because I wanted to read them for ages, and then I realised I hadn't really got around to it, and it says here it's a dark, modern, romantic retelling of the musical classic Phantom of the Opera, but this time the man behind the mask won't stop until she's his. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and look, I love the cover, it's so nice. Okay, next, how many books have we picked? 1, 2, oh, 5, we're halfway through. 8. Let's move for this. Oh my goodness me, I'm getting old. I actually think I picked this out in a TBR earlier on in the year. This is a dark stalker romance by an author called Marie Rose. I have not read anything by her before. The second book in this duology actually just recently came out. Everything about this video is telling me to break my book buying ban and complete the series that I seem to be picking out in this. All I know is that it's dark stalker. I think it's Why Choose or like MFM. I don't know if it's Why Choose actually, but it's definitely not just one guy. So excited. The reason why I picked this up is just because it feels like when you read, I've read the synopsis, I won't read the whole thing out to you because it's quite long. When I've read the synopsis before, it sounds really dark. So it's an FBI profiler and it's to do with like unaliving and all that kind of stuff, which is just perfect, I think, for this time of year. I want to read this when it's dark, thunderstorming, raining. This is the Midnight Mayhem series by Emma Jones. This is book 1 out of 4, and it's basically like, it is a dark romance, but it's about a circus, and I just thought that is ideal for this time of year because Halloween reminds me of like all the scare mazes and circus acts and masquerades, and it just gives me that kind of vibe, which is why I put Phantom in the lineup as well. So this is like a dark, spicy circus. I think it's thriller, mystery, romantic suspense, but make it super dark, and I love Emma Jones. I've been trying to read this all year, then summer came and I was like, it's not the right time to read something like this in summer. So I left it, and now is the perfect time to pick this up. Okay, so this is super different. This is, I mean, first of all, look at the cover. It just screams Halloween and this time of year, I think. Well, it definitely screams the end of October. I don't know a lot about this. I saw a couple of reviews about this on BookTok about a year ago, and then my friends very kindly bought it for me for my birthday last year, but it has remained on my shelf, as do many other books. But this is a Why Choose dark romance. It's got it says it's 4 criminals. I think they kidnap her. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's like mystery, thriller aspects to this story as well. It just sounds really good. It's actually by K.A. Knight and Kendra Moreno. Haven't read anything by either of the authors. I haven't even read like, what's that K.A. Knight book that everybody talks about? What's it called? Den of Vipers. It took me ages to get there. K.A. Knight wrote that, I think, didn't she? I still haven't read that yet, but this actually appeals to me so much more. If anyone's read this, let me know if you liked it, because I don't know, it just screams like the front cover is giving The Purge, don't you think? So it's perfect. Feet are getting so numb, it hurts. Well, I haven't got 12 books on there. I didn't think this through, did I? This is why I should have numbered my books, because I haven't got 12 books left in the stack now. What I'll do is I'll just pick out the book that's at the bottom, because I feel like that's the fairest way to do it, because it would have been down there anyway. Okay, this month is becoming incredibly dark romance heavy. Like, for some reason I thought I had way more fantasies in here, but I actually think the fantasies that I'm thinking of are on my TBR to buy. So anyway, this is Brutal Ambition by Sam Mariano, and I think this is a dark bully romance secret society. It just says on the back, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. I think this is around a secret society, and it's sort of giving The Lord's vibes by Chantal Tessier. Everybody knows that series, like The Ritual, The Sinner. This, I think, is very much similar to those, along those lines. I've only read one other Sam Mariano book, which was Even If It Hurts, and oh my god, that was interesting. So I'm really excited to read this. I think this is actually her newest release so far, and yeah, I mean, it's very October. So the last book is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, who, by the way, this book is now being traditionally published already. How amazing for her. I love that when that happens for authors. I don't think you can actually get this cover anymore. I'm pretty sure it's out of print, this version. So I'm so glad when I got this for my birthday I decided to get this, because I was so in between the two editions that you could get, and I was like, I'm going to get the alternate one. I'm a bit funny about people on my covers if I can help it, and I'm so glad I did now, because I don't think you're going to be able to get this anymore. But this is a fantasy romance, dark fantasy romance. I don't know anything about it. I literally said in my birthday haul when I hauled this, I actually don't really know anything about it really. I don't really know what the tropes are in it or anything. I just know that everybody's reading it and loving it. And I'm really enjoying fantasy again at the moment. So I had to put a fantasy book in there because I just wanted, you know, it's very dark. This is extremely dark, TBR. So if I feel like I need a break from it, which I probably won't, then I will definitely pick up Quicksilver. I mean, I want to read this regardless, but it's nice to definitely have something that can break up the Darkstalker, Secret Society, serial unalive romances. I was doing really well last month at switching up the genres. I don't actually think I read a single dark romance, did I? I read dark fantasy, but I don't think I read a dark romance. Oh, actually I did at the end of the month. I read Insatiable by Lee Rivers. We won't get into that now, but that was incredible. And so I did really well, and I feel like I've had 1 month away from it, and clearly I've just subconsciously, I just go straight back to it. But I'm really excited for this. So there we go, that is my October/spooky season TBR. I am sure I will probably add to that along the way because, like I say, there are some books I really want to get that I want to read around now. So maybe if I can rein it in and maybe just treat myself to like 5 books on Amazon. No, it's never just 5, is it? Keep an eye out for me reading these books in some upcoming reading vlogs. I'm actually about to start a vlog, which is how many pages can I read in a week. Let me know in the comments what you guys are going to be reading this spooky season. Is there anything that you want to reread? I have to fight the urge every year to reread the Devil's Night series. I think next year is going to be the year where I start to reread a lot of my favourite books, and you best believe next October I'm clearing my schedule for the Devil's Night series, but I only read it 2 years ago and I feel like I want to give it a little bit longer, so it feels like the first time again as much as I possibly can, like as long as I can leave it. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming content, and I will see you in my next video.